The world belongs to no one. The weather was terrible the day I met Mr. Lopez. We met at noon in downtown Dallas, and it was raining early in the morning. 9 tornadoes would hit several points in the Metroplex later that day. All of our communication had been, up to that point, via email. I replied to the Craigslist ad for a helper for his business. I didn't know exactly what the business was about, but I was interested in learning more about real estate, so I decided to take the gamble. Everything was mysterious and confusing from the beginning. The information he sent me to meet him led me to a huge building filled with empty offices. Floor 9 seemed to be totally deserted, although, just down the central corridor, a light peeked through the blinds. I was a bit hesitant. It was still a few minutes before the appointed time. I decided to take the elevator back to the first floor. When the door opened, there was the Sorcerer. I will never forget the impression Mr. Lopez made on me. His presence is terrifying and reassuring at the same time, with that penetrating gaze few people have. I couldn't say his eyes were light, but not too dark either. He almost always wears gray clothes, and that day was no exception. Very tall, blond, and with a cold expression, he looks more Russian than Hispanic. "I'm glad you're here," he said. "Walk me to the car. We are already late for our first appointment of the day." I nodded and followed him to the white Honda Accord just outside the building, parked in the handicapped spot. "It is not so far," he said as he started the car. "Do you like barbecue?" I answered yes as I watched the raindrops gently sliding down the windshield. I didn't want to give away too much information or show too much enthusiasm, but I was actually ecstatic inside. I would finally learn about the real estate business from a true local legend.